Every data engineer needs to understand two things: CRUD and ACID. These aren't just academic terms, and it's not that kind of acid. They are the core of how every database story retrieves and protects your data. If you can't explain these in a job interview, you're probably not landing that role. So let's fix that. In this video, I'm going to break down CRUD and ACID in plain language, give you 3 career-ready takeaways for each, and walk you through a real-world scenario where these principles either save the day or blow everything up. Let's start with CRUD. CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. These are the 4 foundational operations when you're working with data. If you've ever written a insert into script, you've done create. Select, that's your read. Update modifies a record, and delete, well, that's self-explanatory. CRUD is the grammar of your database language. Everything else built on top of that. Now, let's lock in those 3 takeaways. 1, your interview question. This is what you're going to get when you sit down in front of somebody. What does CRUD stand for, and how would you explain it to a non-technical stakeholder? Keep it simple. Use a customer support system or a contact list as your example. For your resource, check out SQL Performance Explained by Markus. It is clear, concise, and packed with practical examples to improve your SQL workflow. The link is down in the description. For your practical exercise, open up your favorite SQL editor, probably SSMS, create a table called employees, and insert 3 rows, read them back with select, update a row, and delete a row. Go ahead and practice that. Pay attention to how the table evolves at each step and what that execution path is. Take a look at the merge statement. It does multiple CRUD operations in one statement. It will give you a leg up in your interview. Pay attention to how the table evolves when you do these different things, and be sure to check the execution path as you're doing these processes as well, so that you can see how things flow. This is the best way to really internalize CRUD operations. All right, let's make this real. Imagine that you're building a payroll system. CRUD handles that day-to-day operation. Hiring, that's create. Viewing somebody's pay history, that's read. A promotion, that's an update. And determination, you guessed it, it's a delete. But now imagine 2 payroll clerks are updating the same record at the same time. Or the system crashes halfway through that salary update. Now somebody's paycheck potentially is going to be wrong, gone, or worse. That's not just a bug, that is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Nobody wants their money messed with. And that's exactly where ACID comes in. ACID isn't about doing things, it's about doing them safely. ACID stands for Atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Let's break those down. In the A, Atomicity, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it means all steps of a transaction is completed or none get completed. That way you don't have any partial updates, no half-written changes. This is commonly called committing. You have a begin and then you have a commit. Let SQL know that you're starting a transaction. Your commit tells SQL to, okay, now it's time to save this information into the table. Step 2, consistency. This means that rules are being followed. The database always moves from one valid state to another. Isolation means transactions don't interfere with each other. 2 people updating the same row at the same time, there should be a lockout so that they won't step on each other's toes. Durability means that once a change is committed, it stays committed, even if the power goes out. And if CRUD is the steering wheel, ACID is your seatbelt and your airbags. Let's cement those takeaways. Your interview question here is going to be something like, explain ACID properties and how they apply in distributed systems. Pro tip here, mention trade-offs between isolation levels or the CAP theorem for bonus points. Your resource here, designing data-intensive applications by Martin Kleppmann. If you haven't read it, you're really missing out. This one is basically the data engineer's Bible, right after probably the data warehouse toolkit. Write a SQL transaction for your practical exercise that transfers $100 from account A to account B inside of a begin transaction statement. Subtract from A, add to B, and then run your commit. Now, simulate a failure halfway through and watch what happens. Make sure that rollback is actually working as expected. That is atomicity and durability in action. Here's the big picture. CRUD is about what you're doing. Creating, reading, updating, deleting, while ACID is about how you're doing it. Safety, reliability, and without any data corruption. Together, they're the foundation for any mission-critical system. Banking, healthcare, e-commerce, even internal HR apps. If you don't understand both, you're just hoping that your system doesn't break. So a wing and a prayer is not a good plan. Let's recap. CRUD gives you the 4 building blocks. ACID ensures those blocks are rock solid, and real-world systems depend on both. If this helped you clear things up, be sure to like and subscribe, drop a comment, and tell me, how would you explain CRUD and ACID to a hiring manager or a junior dev on your team? Oh, and one more thing. I put together a free one-pager that you could download down in the comments. It includes the interview questions, the exercises, and both book links from today's video. It is perfect for your job hunt or onboarding cheat sheets. Now that you understand the fundamentals of CRUD and ACID, go ahead and check out this playlist and jump into SQL.